Hello, welcome to another video from Football Oasis. Today is a special episode, so I thought let's do a special introduction. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you go down below, smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. Now, let's get to Archie Thompson. How are you, Archie?
Yeah, I'm sweet, man. I'm sweet. Thanks very much for having me.
Good. No, of course. Thank you, man. You're the star of the night, my friend.
No, man. No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to another video from Football Oasis. Today we are joined by a very, very special guest who has a total of 289 domestic appearances, 54 international appearances, and a total of 129 goals in his glamorous career. And not only that, he's a three-time A-League champion, three-time Premiership champion, and even won the Dutch League with his time at PSV. Archie Thompson, welcome to Football Oasis, my friend.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the intro. It was funny. I won a championship there in Holland, but I probably played a maximum of 10 minutes in the whole 6 months I was there. But
it doesn't matter. It still counts.
I probably celebrated harder than the guys that actually played all the games.
That's all right, man. You still got it under your belt, so that's all that matters.
Nah, that's it. Definitely.
Firstly, Archie, how are you handling this strange time of isolation at the moment?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I must admit, I had a moment today with my girlfriend where it was like, because Fox Sports isn't, the A-League's been shut down. So that's been pretty much my job for the last few years. Yeah. And then I kind of feel like I'm a bit lost at the moment with what's going on and how to keep busy. Because, with the stuff that I was doing football-wise, it kind of, you have to be out on the pitch or with coaching or playing and even commentating. So I found that's been challenging probably the last couple of days, but, we're all in the same situation. So I'm just kind of grateful that the people I care about are healthy and we're all sort of united in this sort of time and connecting again, which I guess all this is about.
Yeah, no, respect, man. And hopefully everything goes back to normal soon for the sake of all of us. For the sake of all of us.
Me too, bro. Me too.
Beautiful. My first question for you, Archie, I want you to take us to the very, very beginning. Tell us about Archie Thompson before the fame and Archie Thompson who had a dream as a kid.
Yeah, man, mine was probably not the normal path you go down, especially now when you look at pathways. I know maybe pathways now are a little bit, obscured with the way that the direction is in football. But back when I was growing up, there was set pathways that you had to follow to obviously make it, which was all the young representative teams, then the young Australian teams, and then Olympic, and then hopefully if you're good enough, Socceroos, and then domestically will be old NSL and go overseas. But for me, I actually got sick of football when I was growing up. Just because I felt like I was missing out on a lot of things, especially when you needed to be concentrated, you needed discipline. I didn't have any of it because I was just more wanting to have fun and have fun with mates and grow up doing the things that you grow up doing as a teenager, going out, having a good time, all that sort of shit. And then, so I kind of lost my way a little bit. And the story was that I got back on the path was I was working in a Chinese restaurant at the time, kitchen hand, left school, washing dishes, preparing food in a Chinese restaurant. And then I happened to see Harry Kuehl that I used to play with when I was younger in the representative football side of things and in the old NSL and old academy teams in New South Wales. And then obviously I seen him doing really well at Leeds United. He happened to sign a contract worth, I think it was $120,000 a week. And, I was lucky to be making $100 a week. So that was a real eye-opener because I was obviously playing alongside him as a youngster. And, I felt like I was the same talent, but maybe he might have pepped me a little bit, but I think it was just his eagerness and discipline to want to be an elite or professional footballer and go overseas. That was his dream. And you know, I have it back then, but obviously seeing that reignited something in me, and you know, I put all that shit aside, going out, being with mates, and it wasn't until from that Chinese restaurant when I started getting back into football. It was like I ran from the kitchen from the Chinese restaurant to home, where I was living at the time in Bathurst, and I stopped, man, 20 times, and I was like fucking coughing up lungs, everything, you know.
Oh, wow.
And then, but then 20 times it came, 15 times I'd stop, and then 10 times, and then for me, the real moment or epiphany for me, I suppose, was when I was like, I got home in just one run, and I was like, man, I could do this, you know. And that was been my mindset from pretty much that point on. Whenever an opportunity came, I was always jumping at it. And you know, I mean, I must admit, a lot of luck on the way, as you need to be a pro footballer. But I knew that I was mentally ready for it, and that's where it all started from. And I haven't, you know, I've been very grateful to be a footballer and to have the career I've had, and the places I've been, because, you know, I've worked at a Chinese restaurant. I've worked in an abattoir, you know, cleaning shit bags out of bulls and cows. So, you know, I've done all the shit jobs. So I kind of appreciated where I was, and how hard it took, how hard I worked to get to it. And so I'm very grateful that I've had the career I've had.
Yeah, no, that's big respect, Archie. And one of the
Yeah,
things
cheers, bro.
that you mentioned there was that dream or that person that you kind of saw and gave you a push. So my question is, who's actually growing up? Who was your footballing icon, or who did you look at and had an influence on you?
Man, it was just well, back then it was like Pele. It's
Yeah.
so funny. Pele was the dog. But to be honest, I'd never seen one game of football that he played. But it was it was just Pele. So
Yeah, the
I could
iconic
say
name.
him, but the iconic name that everyone sort of knew. But then, you know, as you grow up, it's like you know, Maradona. Like I love the way that Maradona played. Again, probably someone too that I was young, maybe a little bit too young to kind of see, you know, at his peak. But yeah, just a lot of people, man. Even Robbie Fowler, you
Yeah.
know, he's coaching here in the Brisbane Roar, and I just love the way he scored goals. Just a lot of players, man, and not just strikers, but, you know, playmakers, wingers, all that attacking sort of thing. I think I learned and respected a lot of those guys, and I kind of try to implement it into the way I play.
You made your Socceroos debut on the 28th of February 2001 against Colombia. I want you to describe the feeling it was to step onto that pitch and represent the Socceroos for the first time.
Oh man, like amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, I've been part of the Olympic team, and even then I was in awe of the players that were there. You know, some of them obviously come from overseas. Some was playing well in the old NSL and had already established themselves in that. And so for me, just an Olympic team was awesome. But then to obviously go into a Socceroos setup and you know, players that I've grown up idolizing, and you know, from a domestic point of view, like Mark Viduka, and all these guys that, you know, I'm rubbing shoulders with. They weren't there obviously when Colombia were playing, but still was. You could. There's an aura of being a part of a Socceroo team, and it doesn't matter who's there. It's just an honour. You know, and later on when I got to represent Australia more and in bigger matches and being part of bigger squads, important games, all the big guys came, and man, I loved it. You know, it was, and after that, it just became normal. It just, like I said, you don't lose that passion or honour to represent your jersey, but you know, obviously, when you're seeing all these guys. And you feel like part of the team. It's just normal now. You kind of, that side of things, you kind of, it's the norm, but still representing your country is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You've had an awesome career, Archie, and the places that you've been, you have, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I think of it. You know, I've been lucky that I would have loved to have had a bigger career overseas. I mean, I was 4 years in Belgium, had the best year of my career, especially in that last year. But then the A-League called, and I was like, do I or don't I? I did. I wish, just things that I kind of wish I had maybe stuck and gave it a really good go overseas. But in saying that, I came back to Australia, and I think the reason maybe why I've done so well and have such a big name is because I've done it here domestically, and people have got to see me week in, week out, and they appreciate what I give, and this even with the national team. So I think I'm pretty blessed that I did come back in a way, because it has given me a name, and it has helped me work with Fox. It helps people kind of know who I am, and maybe for those that have been overseas for so long and had such prestigious careers, but no one really knows it too well when they come back here. Yeah, so I've been really lucky in that sense, that I've managed to have had a decent career, but not like one that maybe say a Bresciano or a Tim Cahill or whatever. But I'm still very humbled that I still have some say in Australian football.
You're definitely humble, because you've played, as you mentioned, in Belgium. You've also played in Holland and in Spain as of recently. How did those experiences compare to the A-League?
Look, it's different. I think me coming from old NSL, which was a lot of football teams, a lot of talented players. Like, I mean, the talent back then compared to now is, ridiculous. The only thing that I would say nowadays, the imports are so much better. But back then, homegrown talent was, there was an abundance of it. So, I was pretty lucky to grow up and play in that. But going to Belgium had a real eye opener, because, playing in Europe, it's a dog world, man. And it's hard, and it's intense, and it's, a real eye opener for me. And I think that kind of helped me coming back here to know exactly what I needed to do to really do the best that I can here. And obviously take some of that sort of dogginess back to here in Australia, which, we probably don't have the mentality as over there, whereas like, you'll lose and it's like, okay, well, we lost, man. It's okay, cool. We'll win next week. Yeah, but over there, you can't, man. It's like, it hurts. It hurts for a while. So, that helped me come back here to the A-League. But, again, it was an amazing experience coming back here, starting something fresh, seeing the explosion of football in this country and being a part of it, not just with the Socceroos in that great night in 2005, but also to be a part of so many massive matches with the A-League and Melbourne, and iconic games that people remember. Subscribe, man. Subscribe.
Yeah.